Senator, good to have you. We're hearing about this test vote that could be coming, but we're also hearing that there'll be no GOP crossover, so it looks like it will again be a no-go. Isn't it time to let the debate begin, sir?
Well, we learned our lesson on the health care bill. You know, they come up with all these bad ideas that they know we can't vote for because we want to mold the bill and make it better. And then we have to vote no against cloture, and then they blame us as the party of no. The fact of the matter is we know that if we don't do that, they won't sit down and negotiate with us at all. And there are so many things wrong with this bill. I was interested in Lloyd Blankfein's comment the other day. He said that Wall Street, the greatest beneficiary of this reform bill will be Wall Street. Now, why are we doing a bill that's supposed to put Wall Street in order, and yet they're going to benefit more than anybody else? And at the same time, our auto dealers are going to be hurt, our small business people are going to be hurt, they're going to have all kinds of bureaucratic things added to them, our community banks are going to be hurt, you know, M&M company is all upset about it, the Snickers company. You can name just about everybody in small business. So what they're trying to do is control everything by the almighty federal government, and frankly, this bill's a dog, and we want to reform it.
But setting aside CEO Lloyd Blankfein's statements about Wall Street benefiting from this, the perception out there is certainly that the public is angry at Wall Street, and that the longer the Republicans are pushing this off, the more they are perceived as siding with Wall Street.
Well, that's the perception of some, but there's a perception by many who deep down feel that this bill is not going to do what's right. It's going to cost us an arm and a leg. It's going to raise costs for community banks, for small business people, for auto dealers, everybody in America, and in the end, not do what's right. Now, another little thing. Why aren't Fannie and Freddie in this bill? That's where it all started. That's where it all began. They ran us right into the ground with all those bad mortgages and so forth, yet they just completely conveniently ignore them. Why is that? Because Fannie and Freddie have been a sinecure for the Democratic Party.
I want to throw up, Senator, I just want to throw up, as you're speaking, we've got a full screen that outlines some of the big points in the GOP plan for financial reform. So as you're speaking, I want to throw those up so viewers are aware. And one of those we've got is exactly what you just mentioned, ending the taxpayer support of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. If that were to get included, would the GOP be happy?
Well, they're not going to be happy with just one or two things. Look, they are always willing to get rid of the $50 billion bailout thing because they know that all of the bailout language is still in the bill. This bill will permit government bailouts of businesses that really deserve to fail, not too big to fail. And frankly, there are a lot of things in this bill that we need to change. Fannie and Freddie is an important part that needs to be added to the bill. Republicans are fighting for the things that really ought to be in this bill, and they're fighting against things that should not be in this bill. You know, 10 to 15 banks on Wall Street cause these problems. And so we're going to stick it to all of America. This is another repeat of the Sarbanes-Oxley bill that has run up accounting costs and legal costs and everything else for small businesses all over America.
Senator, let me switch gears for one moment, because I do want to ask you, you also were a part of a group with your colleagues. You've been raising questions about the timing of the SEC's lawsuit against Goldman. It appears you found the timing a bit too convenient. What do you think exactly went on there?
Well, I think there's no question that they, you know, or should I say there is a question as to why they suddenly do this, because the SEC didn't have to be in that big of a hurry, and they did it right at the you know, the voting time for this particular bill. And I think there's no doubt they're trying to put pressure on Congress to pass a bill that really should not be passed on its own without very effective and formal changes.
Do you think something inappropriate was done there?
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but I would say this, that I think there were some political maneuvers there that shouldn't have happened. Look, I'm not apologizing for Wall Street. We all know that there have to be some changes there. But I believe that this bill will benefit Wall Street in the sense in ways that it shouldn't be benefited more than any other thing we can do. The way the Democrats have done this, have taken good care of the people who donate to them, but they're not doing what's right for the rest of America. Mainstream America is going to be dramatically hurt by this bill. We Republicans don't want that to happen. We've seen it happen with Sarbanes-Oxley. We don't want it to happen here, and that's what we're fighting for. And I think the American people are catching on.
All right.
I think they're glad that we're standing up to them. I think they realize that we're not just going to allow them to go ahead without a real, effective communication and work with us on making the bill better.
Senator Orrin Hatch, we appreciate your time, sir. Thank you.
Nice to be with you.
Day 2 of President Obama's Main Street tour rolling on today in the U.S.